Hello again. In a number of European countries, it is against the law to deny that the Holocaust took place, and you can be sent to prison for doing so. This happened to English historian David Irving, of course, who was sent to prison in Austria for doing this very thing. In Britain, there has until now never been such a law, so that we are all of us free speak our mind on the subject of the Holocaust and the history of the Holocaust. I ought to point out here that I have no doubts whatever about the Holocaust, nor that 6 million Jews died during the Second World War. I think those who deny it are in the same league as flat earthers. I am aware that this will provoke the usual comments here about wooden doors and so on. I certainly don't think it should be against the law to question any historical episode, and I do so all the time in my book, magazine articles, and sometimes on videos on this channel. I may not agree with those who deny the Holocaust, but I think they should be able to do so if they wish, and I am glad that there is no law forbidding the expression of such a view in this country. Except, of course, that such a law was effectively passed last year, although not many people know about it. In fact, those posting comments here which deny the Holocaust are actually committing a criminal offence in this country. I suspect this is going to come as something of a shock because anybody who looks at the comments here will often see sly digs about the Holocaust and hints that it never took place and so on. I'm guessing that those who make those comments didn't realise they were actually breaking the law in doing so. Let me explain what has happened because it's quite interesting. In France, a notorious crank called Vincent Renoir was sent to prison in March for denying the Holocaust. This is not the first time he's fallen foul of the courts in his own country for doing so. He had already been in prison for doing the same thing. Then he fled France and was found living in Scotland in 2022. And the French promptly applied to have him extradited to France to face another charge of denying the Holocaust. You might have thought that because this is not a crime here, the British court would have rejected this request for extradition, but you would be wrong. He was extradited last year after appealing to the Court of Criminal Appeal in Edinburgh to be allowed to stay in Scotland. Giving judgment, Lord Justice General Lord Carloway said denial of the Holocaust was a gross insult to the members of the Jewish and other communities whose members perished in Auschwitz-Birkenau, the Nazi death camp. He said it was not necessary to be a member of the relevant communities to be grossly offended by such statements. Then he went on to say that statements made by Renoir were anti-Semitic racism, and that although it was not an offence to hold such views, it was a breach of Communication Act legislation to communicate them to the public on the internet. Lord Carloway said videos featuring Renoir making those claims amounted to an offence of seriousness by Scottish standards. This is disturbing because most of us communicate more over the internet than we do in conversations face to face these days. What this ruling means is that if you say stuff denying the Holocaust in the comments here, or in a WhatsApp group, or on Facebook, X, or even in a private email to a friend, you are guilty of a criminal offence, although no law has ever been passed by Parliament about Holocaust denial being a crime. This really is an instance of free speech being limited, because even though I don't agree with such views for a moment, I cannot see any reason at all why it should be against the law to discuss such matters via the internet.